Well, hello and welcome to episode 11 of Southpaw. This is live from Florida and beyond. We are at our buddy Kaiser's Deli and Market here in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. I say beautiful and it's raining and shitty and windy, but aside from that, we're still here. What could possibly go wrong with a live broadcast with a bunch of lefties? So here we go. Starting with, let's introduce Wayne Franklin is here. Hi, Wayne.
What up?
Next up, Turd Ferguson, or as you may know him, Bill Pulsiver is with us.
I love the music.
Hey, thanks. I just wrote that one on the plane because I was bored.
Like
Next up. Oh, Rolly's leaving. His friend Glendon Rush is here. What's up, Glendon?
Hello, hello.
And last but not least, the slapdick lefty, our returning champion, Will Oman.
Yeah.
What's up, gentlemen?
I'm jealous you're in Florida. I know that.
Why would you ever be jealous of that? That is America's exposed scrotum.
Well, I'm on Long Island, New York, and it's still the last day of February, but that's funny.
Yeah, right out the gates.
And you're in Arizona, so I can be jealous.
Glendon, where are you today?
I'm at home. I'm about to head up to high school practice. But how far is that deli you're at from the famous World Golf Hall of Fame where I visit down there?
Probably about a half hour.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and there is a and there's a wonderful Cuban sandwich named after Louis Tiant, so we will be enjoying that later. We also have a Tiant with us today. He's
nice.
He's just sitting here enjoying life.
Chris, I actually have my in-laws. My in-laws live in St. Augustine. Really, believe it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I lived here for quite a few years. It's a nice town, man. I mean, the weather kind of sucks today, but aside from that, it's good. I have a bad feeling that these spring training games that I'm going to Sunday, Monday might be a washout. So we'll see what happens. But
go to the Fortress. It's cool.
In St. Augustine?
Yeah.
I lived basically right across the street from there for 4 years.
Awesome.
Yeah. And my dog has peed on that lawn many times.
Historical location.
It's a historical urination. Exactly. So listen, we're here now. I'm thinking about the spring training stuff and heading down there, and we've talked about it before. And Will, this is something that you wanted to bring up, and I figure let's do it. Underrated and underappreciated teammates. That's something that I think that we've been waiting a month to get into, and before Will boils over. Let's get into that, and I'll let Will start with it because I'm sure you have some thoughts on this. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Glendon said it really well in the text thread. None of us realize when we're playing how much of a blip on the radar we actually are until our careers are over, and nobody gives a rip. And you look back and, people are talking about stats and, oh, this guy was a compiler, whatever that word means. Oh, he did it for 20 years. Oh, he compiled stats at the highest level. But I think we all played with guys that you looked at and you're like, I don't give a crap what his WAR was. That dude could play at the highest level. He was a dude. And he may not get the notoriety. Like, he's not going in the Hall of Fame. He's not going in the Hall of really, really good. But the dude could play and make a difference. And, I always start with, my number one teammate other than Glendon of all time is a guy I played with at three different stops, three different teams, and it's Juan Pierre.
Oh,
because he was a fantastic teammate. He treated everyone with respect. He treated the game with respect. And, he obviously had the wheels, but if you look at his numbers, I pulled them up, he had a 17.3 career WAR. Yeah. Well, he also batted .295.
Yeah.
He stole several bases. And when Manny Ramirez, went down for PEDs, in the first month of the season, in LA with the Dodgers, well, who stepped in? Well, Juan Pierre stepped in left field, and we rattled off a crazy amount of wins because he was our table setter. With the Cubs, He came over from just winning the World Series with the Marlins. He was a table setter for us there. Then played with them with the White Sox on the back end of his career. Okay. And what was he? He played sparingly at times. He started at times, but he was a guy in the clubhouse that everybody trusted. And when he filled in, he would do his job. And I loved him. Glendon's also underappreciated as well.
All right, there you go. Now that makes more sense. Glendon,
dead serious, man. I mean, we're talking about a guy who signs a big contract in Milwaukee, and the Cubs pick him up. Cubs pick him up after an off year, and he jumps in, and the next thing you know, he's spot starting. He got the hardest job in a bullpen, being a long man, where you go for 10 days and sit and don't pitch, and then all of a sudden it's, hey, I got to throw 4 innings today. Cool. And then 2 days off. Oh, now you're in the rotation. And he's there for 5 starts, and then you put him back in the bullpen. I mean, he ate up starts for some terrible teams we had. He ate up innings and A+ clubhouse.
Nice. So it seems. Glendon, I'll go to you on this. Go ahead.
It's funny. The first guy that popped into my head, because I did not think about this ahead of time at all, is a similar type player to who Will mentioned, and Juan Pierre is a great one. I was lucky enough to be with him, but first guy I thought of was Tom Goodwin, and I played with Goody in Kansas City and in Chicago, and A+ teammate, clubhouse guy, did everything the right way, had a super long career, and it's obvious that he's stuck around as a really, really long time as a coach and instructor in the big leagues, etc. And yeah, that's who popped into my head.
Nice. Bill, so let's go around the horn. How about you?
I got 3 real quick guys that I thought of, and I think they all were kind of similar players in the fact that they just went about their business the right way, kind of led by example, not overly loud guys in the clubhouse, but just kind of respected by everybody in there. And 2 of them were with Milwaukee, in Jeff Cirillo and Mark Loretta, just solid
Nice.
ball players, did everything the right way. You couldn't knock them for anything. And then similar player, but Latino in Edgardo Alfonso with the New York Mets. I think he's a highly underappreciated player. And he was the guy that I got a chance to play with all the way coming up through, rookie ball all the way up into the major league. So I got to see that on a daily basis for years and years and years. And I still to this day think he's one of the best baseball players that I've ever played with and had the opportunity to play. Just did everything the right way. And those 3 were my list of guys that I played with that I thought were phenomenal players that are kind of underrated.
Awesome. Well, Wayne, you're up next. Go for it. Underappreciated and underrated teammates.
Well, I think history has told us a lot since 20 years ago. My God. So 3 of them right off the top of my head: Lance Berkman, Richie Sexton, and the third one, it's gonna be funny, Barry Bonds.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's not in the Hall of Fame yet. Like, he's underrated and underappreciated and underappreciated.
Well, shit. Rocco, welcome to the show. Our ombudsman, Rocco Constantino's here.
How's it going, guys?
8th grade, what are you in the 8th grade science room?
Hey, I got my 86 Mets team picture right
there. We go.
So.
Nice.
Oh my God. Yearbook.
Oh man, all right. So you know what? To kind of paraphrase our buddy Not Guy Eddie, and so we're talking about underrated and underappreciated. Rocco, just bring one up real quick. Somebody way underappreciated, way underrated, because I know you got names, my friend.
You know what? Well, since I just mentioned the '86 Mets, Bobby Ojeda never gets enough appreciation there. I thought he was the guy that led the team in ERA and wins. He had 18 wins that year. So I thought, Gooden, Sid, Darling, all those guys were awesome. But when it came down to it, Bobby Ojeda went 18-5 with like a 2.5 something ERA. So I always thought within that scope of the '86 Mets that he was that underrated guy.
Awesome. Well, going from that,
Can I add
you
somebody?
can absolutely add. Go ahead.
Okay. So I got this affinity for catchers. So I'll start with a guy that everybody does appreciate. He's not on the Mount Rushmore, but I loved him. He's my favorite target to throw to, Brian McCann.
Really?
not enough people talk about. Not enough people talk about not Gaetti's, just the stats he put up there, and what he was behind the plate.
He was so quiet behind the plate.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
but it was
big and
it was
didn't move.
so aggressively quiet. Like he'd get back there and his glove would pancake out, and it looked like a freaking sewer cap.
I love it.
You're like, I can hit that.
Right.
And then the other two guys, just backup catchers are my favorite. Henry Blanco and Ramon Castro.
Bigote.
Just
Very nice.
Those guys were phenomenal.
Took him
Very
2
nice.
minutes to shave.
All right, listen.
Ramon Castro, biggest jawline in history.
Who, Henry Blanco?
No, Ramon
No.
Castro.
Ramon Castro.
Jesus.
His nickname
Oh,
is
my
Bigote,
God.
which is mustache in Spanish.
Well, listen, going from guys that we say are underrated and undervalued, I'm going to bring in a buddy of mine who thinks everybody's overrated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dan T to the show. What's up?
Yeah.
There he is.
Man.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Long time no see.
So Dan,
Series.
we're getting an echo here. Anyway, he's sitting across from me, even though he looks somewhere else.
I'll move a little bit further away from it.
There you go.
Perfect.
Dan, give me somebody who's underrated for once.
Oh, that's a tough one. I say everybody's overrated.
Yeah.
I just want to piss everybody off. I don't know. I just haven't. Whoever said Juan Pierre, I agree. I do actually.
That was Will.
Yeah. I always liked him. I always thought he was underrated. Geez, I don't know who else right now. I have to think about that one. It's quite a few, but I think that was a good call.
There's a guy named Lewis that was underrated.
Who?
Lewis.
Oh yeah, Tiant.
Tie-in.
Yeah. That
Tyant. I hear a lot. Yeah.
Lewis Tyant.
Lewis
Oh my
Tyant.
God.
Definitely right.
Yeah, he was all right.
Okay.
He was
All
okay.
right, let's go. Dan, overrated.
Oh, geez,
All the
you gotta say
above.
that. You gotta put me on that one. I'm gonna say all the above. Actually,
Everybody
today's
else.
game,
Hey, we're all above.
all the
that.
above. In today's game, I'll say all the above.
All right, there you go. All the above. So listen, I want to get into a little bit of spring training stuff. Now, Dan, you're an agent for a lot of guys that are playing in spring training, and guys that play in Central America. So I was thinking maybe, let's talk a little bit about some of your guys, and then I want to get some stories from the rest of you guys about playing down there in Central America, whether it's Mexican Winter League, Venezuela, wherever, because I know you guys have some. I will hang up and listen because I have an echo.
All right. So, what do you need me to talk about with these guys?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, everybody reported to camp, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to hit the road tomorrow, be in Lakeland. You talk about Latin American guys. Most of my guys are Latin American. I got a kid from Puerto Rico, 2 from Venezuela, and 1 from Mexico, and where's this? 2, yeah. And it's just a different world. You guys know that the way they come up from their times growing up and playing the game to the American players is totally different. It's a big culture shock. So for me, it's I come in as the guy that usually comes in, talks to them, and try to teach them a little bit more as to the American culture and how to adjust here, which I still think a lot of the players in today, even till today, still don't even get that. You guys, all you guys, you have that advantage here, whereas a lot of those guys, they don't speak the language. Food's different. The culture's different. No family here, so they're kind of lost. And so, that's kind of what I'm going to start doing tomorrow. Is once I go see these guys, is catch up with them, see how they're doing right now during spring training. Most of them are doing pretty good and have a good shot at making the big leagues end of this year. But just trying to keep them calm. That's what I'm going to do right now, and just talk to them, shoot shit, and calm them down a little bit because they do get a little bit uptight and nervous, and it's understandable. I mean, I did it when I was in Dominican. I was on a DSL, and I speak the damn language, and I still was away from family, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? What's going on here? It was weird for me, but so I can only imagine with these guys what they go through.
Nice. Well, listen, I mean, I know a lot of you guys have played, whether it's Dominican, whether it's, Mexico, whether it's Venezuela, as I said. Bill, I know you had a couple really good stories, so I'm going to start you off with something, let's talk a little bit about Winter League and what have you. So go for it, man. The floor is yours. I know something crazy had to happen to you.
I played Winter League baseball for many, many years. I played 8 seasons in Puerto Rico. I played three winters in Venezuela. I played in the Summer League in Mexico. I played in the Dominican Republic as well. So I have a wealth of experience of playing in Latin America, and I absolutely loved it. And I loved everything about the differences of every culture and every country, and tried to immerse myself in the culture and in the society or the city that I was playing in. And I signed at 17 years old, so very young, very similar to some of like the Latin players that come over to the United States. And I hit it off. And I said Edgardo Alfonso earlier, I took Spanish in high school, but I learned a lot of my Spanish sitting on the bus, sitting next to Edgardo Alfonso, trying to help him learn English. And we would just pass words back and forth. And how do you say this? And how do you say that? And I've always been a firm believer in the American baseball player. Like Mr. Tiant said, we have a lot of things going for us because we're still staying in our culture. So I've always thought that the organization should take their top prospects, the guys that they believe that are going to be playing in the major leagues at some point in time, and send them down to one of the Latin American countries and have them play winter ball so they can see what it's like for the Latin American player to come and like Dan said, to not have family, to not know how to order food, to not know how to to try to get something to drink, to eat, to where to wash your clothes, all these kinds of things. I think that it would be a great thing. And I don't think that the organizations use it as a tool that they could to send guys down there for 2 months or a month or whatever it may be, so they can see what it's like and they have a better understanding of what it's like for the Latin American ball player to come to the United States and to just have to totally start over, as well as try to perform on the baseball field and try to get themselves, moving in the right direction towards the big league.
Awesome. Wayne, I know you play down there as well. Just, give me your thoughts on that. And like I said, I'm sure if something insane happened to you, it would be nice to know. Not like getting kidnapped or something. But
I did get robbed at gunpoint once myself. But
now you're talking. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, looking for trouble.
That's being in the wrong place.
Did you play in Caracas? Where did you play, Caracas?
I stayed in Caracas, but I played for La Guaira, but we did stay in Caracas. But that actually happened outside the stadium in Puerto Rico, in Mayagüez. Sorry, Wayne, it's your floor.
Yeah, Wayne, how about you? Ever get robbed at gunpoint?
No, not even close. I played in Venezuela for several years and played for Las Magallanes. Great place to play. People were great. The fans, everybody, they were just real generous, real nice to you. And stories, man, I'm trying to think of them, but I can tell you something that happened to one of the American guys. I think it was my first year down there. Dude ate a salad down there, got a parasite.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
not a good start.
He went to the hospital. And he still I can still hear him telling me this story. So they have to do a stool test for him. And so he said, and of course, it's the hottest nurse I've ever seen comes in there to give me this and tells me what I have to do with this cup and everything. I said, he's sitting there, this hot nurse trying to tell me I got to shit in this cup and everything. he goes, so all right, she leaves. And he goes, I go over in the bathroom, wherever they had the toilet. And he said, put the cup back there. And he said, I went. He said, I turned around, put the cup in the bag or something like that, he said. But he goes, wait a minute. I missed the cup, man. There was nothing in the cup. Shit all over the floor. Everywhere. All over the floor. Shit everywhere. I was like, did that hot nurse have to clean that up, man?
Oh,
That was a funny story. I can still hear him telling me that story.
oh God.
It wasn't very solid, I'm guessing.
It's like,
Oh, well,
why did she give you a cup? You gotta try and thread a needle with that thing.
just at least get like a soup bowl or something like that. It's
Yeah,
all we have are these urine collection cups. So here you go. Oh
He
God,
missed
dude.
the cup, man. He missed.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. I don't know if anyone's gonna top that one, but Clinton, you can sure as hell try.
I definitely can't top that. I don't know if I don't know if Pulse. I'm not sure if Pulse had. What years did you go to Mayaguez, Pulse?
Mayaguez, I played there in 04, 05, and then again 05, 06, and then I came back again at like 09.
Oh, okay, okay. So I went a little. I don't know if the GM was still the same guy, but I went earlier, like 96, 97 time. And my story from there was pretty good. If you guys will remember, the famous Bob Hamlin was our first baseman when I got there the first year. And after the first workout I showed up at, he drove me back to wherever I was staying, and then the first time I got paid when I was there, he said, "Hey, this GM or the owner is a little shady, so you got to get your check cashed as soon as you can." So he taught me you take your check straight to the casino, get it cashed, get it all.
I know exactly what casino you're talking about too.
Yeah, get all your paycheck and chips, and then play a couple hands, and then cash out your chips, and you get your check cashed. So
I know exactly what you're talking about too. Not far from the stadium.
Yep.
Oh God! All right, we're gonna go to Will for now, and I'm sure you got something.
Yeah. So I played in Mexico 3 times. I never made it to Venezuela or Puerto Rico, but my first memory there, I was fresh out of high A, so I was only 21, and playing with AA, AAA guys with a little bit of time, and we're doing our first workouts, and our whole team's out there, and we've got white cleats, blue cleats, green cleats, red cleats. Everybody's got stuff, and we're supposed to have red. And it's the day before opening day. And I'm like, what is going on here, man? I've never seen a team, not look uniform before.
Until now.
The next day we show up, every pair of cleats in the place is perfect red. And the bat boy, who they all called Massage for some reason, the bat boy had hand painted every single pair of cleats.
Hand painted.
He had hand painted them red, including the logos. So you had your Reebok logos, your Pumas, everything, and they were spotless. But it also, side benefit, it made hot foots incredible because the whole shoe would go up in flames.
Was Massage like 3'4"?
Massage.
No, Massage was 4'6".
Okay,
but he was the bat boy and he was the trainer.
Okay.
Really cool.
It'd really be weird.
If you needed a massage, you grab the bat boy.
Glendon,
like, I'm a little tight. Hey, Massage, get over here.
Glendon, when you were down, did you ever get the chance to meet "quote unquote" Lou Brock when you were in Puerto Rico?
Oh yeah.
Lou Brock was not actually Lou Brock.
Yes.
No.
But they gave him the nickname, and Lou Brock was a little mentally challenged. May he rest in peace. I'm sure he's passed away by now. Lou Brock was a beloved figure. He's actually the bat boy for the first with the San Juan Senadores when I played down there, and then he was our bat boy in Mayaguez.
Yep.
And he was actually the bat boy for the Puerto Rican national team in the World Cup competitions a few times as well. So this guy was like a national hero of baseball who never played. But if you asked him, how many RBIs did you have last year? He would have an answer, even though he didn't play.
Yeah.
This guy was a beloved character, probably very similar to Massage.
Yes.
Where everybody knew him around the league. But I want to give one more quick one about Venezuela because it just dawned on me, and I think this is an incredible story about the differences. Playing in Caracas, at the 7th inning, whenever, like, say, Caracas, Magallanes, and Wayne, you'll attest to this. 7th inning would come around, the field would be then lined with armed guards with dogs from the 7th inning on.
Jesus.
Yeah. And this is the Magiana's Caracas games are insane. It's a 20,000 seat stadium, and there's 22,000, 23,000 people there, and there's one way in the stadium and one way out. Well, it just so happened that Maguire was playing Caracas, and Omar Vizquel decided he was going to come down for his last game in the Venezuelan league, and he was already well into his late 30s, if not 40 years old. And they ended up winning the game. They were the home team, and the dogs and the guards had came down on the field, and they're standing, lining the warning track all around foul territory. And the last out of the game was made, and now they're doing their handshake line, and everybody's kind of staying around because everybody's celebrating the fact that Omar Vizquel is now done as a player in Venezuela. He's not going to play anymore. And a kid ran out to go try to shake his hand, and they let the dogs loose on the kid, and I got the terrible. Yeah.
You gotta have better feel than that, man.
Yeah. Well, the poor kid did get chomped on by a big gold German Shepherd, but that was kind of a crazy moment to see.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
It was funny, but freaky in the same time. What do you got, Will?
Yeah, definitely not a topper, but yeah, animals on fields. Saw some interesting ones there because the Mexican League, the Mexican Winter League mascots are phenomenal. They're very not suitable for work, non-PC, and we were one, and they come out, and all of a sudden the mascot has a wife, and she's pregnant, and they're running around doing a little skit in between innings. And then all of a sudden she falls down like she's in pain, and he starts pressing on her stomach, and a live chicken pops out of the dressing right on his feet. I saw a game where just umpires are having a bad day / they were paid off, and a dude throws an M80 at first base lit, and it blows a hole right next to first base, and the umpires called the game, and the GM had to pay him to come back. But I think my most Mexican League story was we took a trip to Guasave, or Navajoa. It's middle of nowhere.
I've been there.
Yeah, middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way there, twists and turns, windy roads, 2 lanes, and we're passing these cliffs, and we're on the outside. You can see down, and there's just piles of cars,
Volkswagens.
Yeah, just piles of them on the side. And I'm like, man, I didn't sign up for this. So we get there, 3 days torrential downpour. Only one day did we report to the field, and there's a dude who's a beloved figure there, who unfortunately had no toes, but apparently felt no pain because exactly. He's just a random dude. He's not in uniform, and there's a hole in the dugout, and he's like people would ante up and pay and get the pot together and be $50 or whatever, and he'd haul off and kick this metal pole with his no toes, like as hard as he could, and just go.
I'll get ready to say that.
He was the Zohan. He was like, I feel no pain. So we sit there for 3 days, torrential downpour. They finally go, okay, let's go back home. So I'm like, great, it's raining, and we're going to go past that pile of Volkswagens where there will now be a bus. So we're driving along, and I kind of nod off. And all of a sudden, we're shaking around a little bit, and I kind of wake up.
Going down.
Look to my left. And there's a dude looking at me in another bus, and we're this far away.
Oh my God! Wait a minute, you guys are passing each other?
He was passing each other, and then I'm watching it, and both buses are like jockeying for position on a 2-lane road. They're going back and forth, and I'm like, "What in God's name is going on?" I've never experienced anything, and then I come to realize. The reason our bus driver is trying to get ahead of this guy is because his windshield wipers are broken and he can't see. And pulling off the road was not an option. He didn't put it on the table as, we ought to stop. Maybe I fix this. No, we're going to race.
I wish that was on film.
I don't even know what to say to that at this point.
It was unbelievable.
Holy mackerel. Well, okay. Wow. Okay. I'm crying a little bit. Oh, my God. All right. So next up, let's go. Oh, geez. I got nothing. I feel like we need a commercial break. All right. In other news, let's talk. All right. Why not? Let's the elephant in the room, the see-through pants. Come on. This is just, it's getting, I saw somebody sent me a copy of a text today. It was something, you could see players nuts from space now with these damn Fanatics pants, and it's just it's bad. I mean, I know we've made fun of these damn uniforms in our group chat or whatever, but now you've seen them. Come on, what do they look like, Glendon? How do you feel about these things? For $400, you can buy your own too.
I don't really care about the pants, to be honest with you. I'm really irritated by the jerseys.
Yeah.
It looks like the lettering you get at Home Depot to fix your mailbox. I don't like it. They got to put the bigger lettering back. I mean, it's terrible. It's awful. It's bad. I don't care about the pants. Wear dark sliding shorts. I don't care about that.
I care about it. I care about it when I see Robbie Ray. Those pants worn tightly, that brings a whole new meaning to grape smugglers.
Yeah, I mean he was a problem in the other pants, so yeah.
There might be some guys that didn't used to wear cups that will now start wearing cups just because of this. That way their lack of or non-lack of schlong might be a little bit more introduced to the world.
Yeah,
especially you're playing in March. It's cold.
Yeah.
Couple of guys are having river pod. Couple of guys are tripods.
Yeah. Hey, I hate to cut out, boys, but I got to run.
Thank you for joining us. You got to practice.
See you guys.
Take care, brother.
I'll get you
Some
on.
more.
Adios, muchacho. All right.
Thinks about the uniforms is actually turning out to be one of the best things for baseball because everybody's freaking talking about it. At least it's kind of given hype, and maybe they're going to make a quick transition into something different. I think the jerseys are staying. Obviously, the pants has become an issue with everything being kind of see-through. But I think that it's all publicity is good publicity. I mean, maybe it's just something that people are talking about, and maybe they're going to end up realizing they're going to have to make a change. But at least people are talking about baseball, I guess. I mean,
I would assume you could just go back to the well and use last year's pants, but didn't they just chop them all up and stick them in baseball cards? Aren't they kind of screwed? It's like, I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, baby.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do there.
I think guys are complaining about the lack of personalization for fit because that was one thing in spring training.
Well, yeah, evidently they're not tailored or anything, but
guys would come in and they would take the measurements and you would talk about how you would prefer your jersey, do you want it flared? Do you want the longer? Do you want the extension? I guess that's one of the big complaints is
you could get your sleeve 2 inches longer if you wanted it.
Right. Yep.
It's like going in and get fitted for a suit. You end up walking out of there and you're like, I feel snazzy.
That's usually the guy with the swashes would show up right after him and see how many suits you wanted to buy.
Yeah, great.
Back in the back room with a bunch of fabrics and. No, you don't understand. I'm not the highest paid guy on the team. I'm the wrong guy asking about these.
Well, I'm gonna, because we have someone else who needs to get to a game, so I'm gonna ask Dan real quick. How do you feel about these wonderful, lovely uniforms? And would you like to pay $450 for one? Because if so, I got a bridge to friggin' sell you.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know why they did that.
Comfortability.
Yeah, comfortability. My ass.
Performance.
I tell you what,
the jerseys look terrible. I don't like the lettering on them at all. It's like you said earlier too, with the bad publicity or no publicity. I mean, or this publicity is good publicity. I mean, I guess that's what they're talking about, but you'll be seeing a lot of people, like you said, wearing cups too. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, as far as the jerseys go, I'm not a fan of them, especially what you're going to pay for them.
You might as well just cover the Nike logo and slap a Walmart logo on there.
Yeah, exactly. They're horrible.
Yep.
You got $13? Hop into this jersey. Go get them.
You know what this reminds me of? Trying trying to remember what year this was. It was All-Star game in Minnesota. I was a kid. I just remember this. Lou Whitaker was playing second base. Somehow either his uniform got lost or he forgot it because he got a jersey, but he had to buy some cheap old pants, and you could see through the pants because you could see he had borrowed Minnesota Twins stirrups. You could see the Twins logo through his pants, and I'm like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the first thing I think about when I think about these pants they're talking
Look at
about.
Rocco. Ooh.
He's
on it.
I'm like, I got something on
Rocco's
Bud
looking.
here. I am.
I know, I remember that. I remember that like it was
Chris
yesterday.
left
Oh, yeah.
and he went to order another sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
There's a second one back there somewhere.
Yeah, you're right on the money with that, Wayne. I got the picture right here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He left the bag in the backseat of a Mercedes, and it got stolen. Is what he
There
what he
it is.
said. But yeah, you could
through
see.
those
Yeah,
pants.
yeah, that's great.
What year was that again?
Real time on budding right there.
Yeah. The teleprompter's off. I don't know
What was
to
it,
do with my
80?
hands now.
What year? 85? 87?
85.
There you go.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. Yep. That's awesome.
Cliff Clavin strikes again.
He does.
Unbelievable.
Watch out, dude. Like an elephant.
Yep.
Vital, you getting another sandwich?
It's coming. I was just checking on it, actually. It's coming.
You missed Cliff
He's getting
Clavin's
hungry
highlight.
now.
Oh, I'm starving. I'm ready.
What'd you order?
I ordered an El Teniente.
Smart.
Why not?
Smart.
Your
Smart.
dad has a sandwich named after him. That's awesome.
Pretty sweet.
Pickles, no pickles. Got to be pickles, right?
Oh,
There's pickles.
Oh, you gotta have pickles.
Yeah.
Got to have
Gotta
pickles.
have pickles.
yeah.
Cuban sandwich is
And-
right up there, man. That is
There's not many things better.
no man,
No.
so good. White onions. What do we got on there?
I'll let Dan talk about the sandwich.
I honestly like it. I know it's just for me. It's just the pickles. You need the pickles.
Yes.
So it's the ham. The roast pork, the ham, Swiss cheese. You grill it. You have the pickles inside, and normally mustard. Sometimes
Yellow
people
mustard?
do yeah. Sometimes people do mustard and mayo.
No.
I'm not a fan of
No.
either. I'm not a fan of either. Period. But if I'm gonna, it's got to be mustard.
Yeah.
So here at Kaiser's, they do it with daddle pickles, so it's got a spice to it, and also a little bit of a spicy mustard as well. They don't do regular yellow. So he wanted to do his own St. Augustine style of the El Teniente, but it's awesome. But yeah, you got to just have mustard. You can't. I hate it when they put the mayo on it. It just ruins it.
Yeah, you don't need it.
No.
You know what?
Yeah, there should be a constitutional amendment against putting mayo on a Cuban sandwich because it's no longer a Cuban sandwich.
I've never even heard of that, to be honest with you.
They call it
I can't. I don't think
special.
I've never had one with mayonnaise on it. Definitely yellow mustard, that's for sure. White onions
Yeah.
and a bunch of pickles.
Yeah. The hotter the sandwich, like the heat wise, hot sandwich, pickles are great. Like pastrami sandwiches,
Mhm.
pickles. Pickles.
All right.
I think the mustard though is the unsung hero because
I
if
agree.
you and I'm sorry Dan, but the mustard is the unsung hero because if you order a Cuban sandwich and they go light on the mustard, it doesn't taste like a Cuban sandwich. It's okay.
It's a preference, you know.
Uh-oh.
Potato, I guess, you know. I don't do well with mustard, but I will. The only time I will eat mustard is on a Cuban, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any mustard I can eat. I just don't. That's a good one. But yeah, it's only in the Cuban sandwich that I do the mustard.
Fair enough.
There it is.
They're handing you a sandwich.
Oh,
man.
yes. Speaking of which,
No, it's great.
The old reach around.
the reach around sandwich. Here it
Don't
is.
make me crap in a cup.
I missed a cup.
Oops, I crapped my pants.
Oh, classic. Anyhow, all
I
right.
don't know so
sandwich,
much
man.
about those
Come on,
because
we
What's
didn't
that?
eat Dave's
Because I'm
Yellow
wearing them.
Cuban sandwich.
and I just did.
I just did.
See it.
Come on now.
Oh my.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Ooh.
It's big time right there.
Ooh, I heard a little crunch in there too.
Oh yeah.
well done.
That a boy.
Press was that nice little
Come on.
crunch.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, how'd that at bat go between Paul Skeens and Jackson Holiday?
Roll over to second base. Yoo-hoo,
Oh, yeah?
fucking deal. You know what? I did a little research into that. So that was the first time that two number one overall picks had faced each other in a spring training game. And
That's
okay,
weird...
great. We got to have something to talk about in spring training. And
How light is your news day?
Exactly. It's a light news day because it's two prospects, but there's not much going on. And you know what? The article that I read, I actually read it on CBS Sports, and they actually did admit to that right away. But what I found kind of cool about that actually was it not just the Holiday Skeens thing, was the two other batters that he faced in the inning was Adley Rushman, who was a number one pick overall. And then the other guy was the number 2 overall pick, and he has a strange last name, and I know Rocco's going to be able to find this for me. But so Skeens in that inning faced the number one overall pick, number 1 overall pick, and a number 2 overall pick in that inning. But obviously, you know, once
did he get them all out?
He got them all out. But I don't know if that's a huge deal, or I don't know if that's a big story or not. But I guess it is a story just because it's spring training. Because we all know that
pitching is a good life decision.
It is. Well, I mean, you got a better chance to get outs than you do to get hits. That's for sure. But I think that the fact that once we sign, you obviously get more opportunities as a prospect. But once you sign, you're just a professional baseball player trying to either get outs, get hits, make plays. You know, so making the story out of it, that's just for stories. You know, the guys, they all have to play against each other. It doesn't matter where you were picked, where you were drafted, where you're from. It doesn't matter at that point in time. We're ball players, and we're trying to make a living and trying to get to the big leagues. And I think that they probably went about it. I guarantee you that Jackson Holiday and Paul Skeens were not super pumped up that they were facing the number 1 pick from the year prior or whatever. I don't think that it made much. No. They didn't give two shits about it, as opposed to just trying to play the game, you know?
Awesome.
One would think.
Sorry, I'm eating. Now, this reminds me. You know that on Totally Baseless, we normally go around and talk a little bit of food. I'm going to ask you guys on this one. Speaking about, you know, whether it's Mexican Winter League or you're playing in Venezuela, wherever you're playing, go around, talk about your favorite food. Come on. Your favorite thing to eat, wherever the hell you were, whether it's there, Caribbean, wherever you guys were. I'm going to eat my sandwich. Wayne, I'll start with you. I'm going to mute this so we don't have a Costanza.
Dude, you're making banana sounds over there, and it's brutal.
It's very tart. Oh, Venezuela, man. Oh, man. You know what they did well was fajitas. They actually made fajitas very well in Venezuela. They also, there's one restaurant I went to, they had this pasta dish, and they had I think Alfredo sauce with it, but they also I don't know how they did it, with an oven or something. They wrapped it in aluminum foil, but there was a steak right in the middle of it. Well, I mean, and since that day, since my first day in Venezuela, I've loved South American food every day. It's probably my favorite food now.
Different. It's interesting.
You going to me now?
Turd.
I'll go through every country that I visited. In Venezuela, their pabellon criollo is the name. It's a shredded beef with rice, with plantains, and an egg, a fried egg, but lightly fried egg. And then a cachapa, which is like a corn pancake folded over with white cheese inside of it. Fantastic. Puerto Rico would be arroz con gandules, which is rice with chickpeas, and then pernil, which is close to what you're having in your sandwich right now. Mexico, I mean, obviously, just street tacos is off the charts. You can't go wrong with that ever.
Arepas in Venezuela.
Oh,
I forgot about those.
So
I forgot about those, man.
Arepas are amazing.
Phenomenal.
So good. Who am I missing? Dominican Republic, arroz con pollo. That's their biggest thing there, and it's outstanding. But all in all, I agree with Wayne. Like, Latin American food is just,
oh yeah,
you can't go wrong with that, man. I could eat that every single day.
Absolutely.
Will.
Okay, so I got on your fajitas kick. One of my other favorite teammates, Juan Castro. middle infielder.
Oh yeah.
From Mexico, played with him in Los Mochis, and he said that coming from Mexico, the first time he ever had fajitas was in the United States. Because it's an American invention,
Right?
And they're good.
He's like, he's like a couple of friends was like, hey, let's go get some fajitas. He's like, ¿Qué es un fajita? He's like, it's got the steak and it's got the tortilla and it's got the onions. And he's like, oh, you mean a taco?
Yeah,
The big taco, right?
So, that I would say, my favorite thing in the big leagues was anytime one of the Latin guys would want to taste from home, and he'd have one of his buddies bring in trays of the arroz con pollo. That made my week.
Yeah,
because it's just like, dude, you get that guy a chicken and an onion and a bag of rice, and we're gone.
You're gold.
Yeah. But actually, my favorite thing in Mexico, I still dream about this sandwich. I'm not joking. I've woken up and been like, I've had a dream about this specific spot. It was in Culiacan. It was in Culiacan, Mexico, El Chapo's headquarters, and just right next to the hotel we would stay in, there was this place called 24-hour hamburguesas y tortas.
Oh,
hamburgers and sandwiches.
Stole it already, man.
Tortas are incredible.
And it was very much like a Cuban. It had the slow braised pork, it had the ham, but it had guacamole and pico de gallo and cheese and all this stuff, and it was
sour cream, I'm sure.
And it was unbelievable. And I would eat there literally breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the 3 days we were in Culiacan. And I've considered many times just hopping on a bird just to go down and get that sandwich.
Damn.
Well, damn. All right.
Well,
I'm hungry.
Well, I mean, luckily for me, I have a delicious Cuban sandwich. Let's go to Rocco. We haven't heard from you quite a bit.
I'm not too big on international cuisine. I've never been to Latin America, but I did go to Spain last summer, and they had what was it? Galician sirloin steak with chimichurri sauce. Yes, chimichurri sauce, and that was awesome.
Sounds good.
So that stands out to me. I'm not, like I said, big international traveler or nothing, but I'll go with that. And I also had a croissant every day for breakfast out there. Some freaking lived up to the hype croissants from Spain.
Croissants from Spain.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they were something else. Yep.
That was not on the bingo card.
Rocco, you went running with the Bulls wearing the El Tiante shirt, did you not?
I did. Actually, I got a picture of that right behind me, too. Right next to my 86 Mets team.
Prove it.
Oh, my God,
You ran with the Bulls.
Prove it.
Last summer, yeah. It was phenomenal. And like I said, I wore the El Tiante shirt at it.
Wow.
You seriously have a picture of that?
Yeah. I'll grab it
Go
right
get
now.
that.
Show and tell. I mean, come on, that's dedication right there.
I went through a
Bulls
point in
to
my
run with
life where I
those
thought
Bulls,
I
man.
was
That'd be
never
nuts.
with the Bulls.
That's hectic.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rocco running from the Bulls.
Let's see. Yeah, that's more like it. Let's see.
Holy shit.
You can't really see, but those Bulls are there, obviously.
Really?
And I'm right here, so I ain't that far away. That's the Bulls, and I'm right there with my El Tiante shirt on there.
Oh, it's
It
badass.
kind of looks like you're running in the wrong direction.
I'm kind of
He's on
standing there
basketball.
watching, that's for sure. But a little bit further down the course, I had to duck into a doorway, and they went right by me. The second group of Bulls.
So you didn't make it all the way down into the stadium, or did you have to pull out and say, okay, I'm good?
I made it to the end, but by the time I got to the stadium, I didn't beat the Bulls to the stadium.
I mean, I don't blame you. I mean,
Yeah.
they run a little better than us.
So when I started at the beginning of the course, and when the last Bull comes in, they shut the doors behind. So I got
good
down
Lord.
there.
Experience. That is incredible.
It was
Hey,
crazy.
so
Yeah,
when,
it was great.
When they start that, how do they pick like the order of the people? Like, because I'm thinking like the pole position would be really prime real estate in the running with the Bulls.
It's the wild, wild west. All they tell you is go there at 7 a.m. And you show up. There's no registration. There's no insurance. There's nothing. If you want to do it, go stand in the street at 7 in the morning.
Was there any
wherever you want?
Was there any injuries? Was there was anybody get hurt then when you were out there?
Yeah, there were some. There's usually a few every day. There wasn't anything real bad. Well, people falling down and stuff. There wasn't.
Yeah.
I think there was a few, 3 or 4 gorings that week, but not on my day. Not on my day. They pretty much what they tell you is that, the bulls run in a straight line. They can't corner, so you got to kind of be, have some strategy about where you run. And unless you run up to them or try and get in their way, they don't really, they ignore you. Yeah. Unless one of them gets separated from the pack and starts going wild, that's when you run into some problems.
That is crazy.
People wear white pants too.
I gotta say, you're in more danger from the people than you are from the bulls, because it's just like the peloton in the Tour de France. Like, you're just waiting for a disaster to happen.
Oh yeah,
all in pack, a crush.
Pick your neighbors wisely in that melee. You don't want to run with the guy with a gimp. He's gonna take you out.
So after that event, I went out, had a nice Galician steak and croissant for breakfast.
Love it.
Spanish croissants, those are the best.
Running with the gimps.
Right.
Love it. So listen. Well, I know I do. Somebody was bound to say something, inappropriate. Why not be me?
Congratulations.
Hey, I'll take it. So we are. We're about up against it. So I'm going to go to our ombudsman again, Rocco Constantino, to let us know what we screwed up, and I'm going to finish my sandwich while you do.
All right. I only got a short ombudsman list, so I'm going to ombud and then throw a question out to the group too. So the number 2 guy, Heston Kierstad, was the third guy that
was a hard name to remember. I should have written it down and I didn't.
Yeah, and then an easy name to remember, also catching that in that whole series of or that whole inning was Henry Davis, also a number 1 overall pick. So you had 4 number 1 picks that inning and the number 2
2 pick overall pick. Wow.
Yeah.
That is huge news.
Headline news. So today's Leap Day, February 29th here, and I seen people on Twitter talking about their favorite leaps in baseball history, and I saw some good ones around. Some like Yogi Berra leaping into Don Larson's arm after the perfect game, and Jesse Orozco, clinching the '86 World Series there. So I'll use the rest of my unbudding time to see if anybody has any famous leaps for Leap Day.
I got 2. I would say Joe Carter when he hit the home run to win the World Series, is leaping as he goes around first base. And another one, maybe a little less known, would be Deion Sanders jumping over Todd Hundley to score at home plate. Those are two pretty good leaps.
Nice. Yeah, great one.
Anyone?
Nicely done, Turd.
Anyone?
Yeah, I'm going to be biased. I got 2 of them. Dad leaping into Carlton Fisk's arms when they won Game 1 of the World Series, and then Fisk with the Game 6 home run. Those are my 2.
Good
so
ones.
I'm a little biased.
After he wished it fair or made it fair.
Yeah.
Good one.
I'll go with the Red Sox one too. I think the coolest one I ever saw, just the most stylish thing ever, was Dave Henderson on the home run.
Yes.
Wasn't he in the odd deck circle?
Oh my God, he jumps out of the stadium. And you're like, amazing. I didn't know a human could fly.
Yeah, springy.
But other than that, they're probably not leaps, but the Bo Jackson Spider-Man crawl, where he jumps into the wall and runs on the wall. And this technically was a leap because it was fairly athletic for a weird guy, but also a Boston guy. Manny Ramirez, when he leaped off the wall and high-fived the fan.
Yes. I got one. Otis Nixon, when he used to do those catches in Atlanta, it seemed like he was jumping about 8 feet straight up in the air. I just love to watch him go over the fence like that.
Kenny Lofton too.
Gary Pettis. Yeah.
I was going to go with the Bo Jackson one myself, but I don't know. I'm thinking Andrew Jones, man. Almost anything Andrew Jones, because he would just go flying around. Not necessarily up, but he's just flying around, catching balls left and right, and I can't pinpoint one. But
what about the Jim Edmonds catching the ball, laying flat out with his back to home
Touchdown
plate?
catch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty insane leap.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Here you go
That was pretty good.
Here you go for all you
Cheaters and
underappreciated fans out there. For all you underappreciated fans, I'll go with the current GM of the Phillies, Mr. Sam Fuld. When he was super Sam in the mid 2000s, and just making a name for himself. I mean, like I remember we were with the Dodgers, and Tampa Bay came in, or he was still with the Cubs at that time, and they were talking about him, and he's like, "Oh, he's an out, and he's not going to do much defensively." I was like, "Dude, this guy will make 2 game-changing plays this series. That's how good he is."
Lo and behold,
Like, I mean, he would lay out into the wall.
I'm also going to go with, really quickly, Greg Nettles' 1981 World Series. Yankees did lose that series, but there was a couple plays at third base that he made where he was just completely horizontal to the ground. I love the photos of him where he's just it looks like he's levitating. And Greg Nettles, that's an underrated and underappreciated player right there.
Yeah. That's
How about the pictures of Pete Rose going into third?
Yeah.
Oh, just coming at you with his hair all crazy.
3 feet off the ground, completely level, completely horizontal.
Oh, did anybody see this? I don't know where on Twitter I found it. It just ended up in my feed. Did anybody see the Aqua Velva commercial with Pete Rose?
Oh,
I didn't, but I hope
it's truly amazing. It's truly amazing because the headline on the tweet was like, whatever clown decided it was a good idea to sell Aqua Velva by getting the guy from Alice and Pete Rose together to sing a jingle.
Oh, good Lord, man.
This dude shouts to the stage like, "Hey, Pete, don't you want to smell like a man?" And then they start singing like a barbershop quartet.
You got to love the 70s.
Oh, God.
70s sports, man.
Yeah. Well, listen. Oh, Lord. All right. Listen, we are pretty much out of time. We've had an hour. So let's go around. I want to say thank you to Wayne, Turd Ferguson, Will, Rocco, Dan Tion for sitting in today while we're sitting across from each other, just laughing our asses off. Dan, thanks for coming in.
Anytime.
But you know what? This could have went a lot worse. I'm glad nothing completely terrible happened, aside from the last hour of your lives that you're never getting back from watching this. But for everybody, I'm Chris Vitale. This has been Southpaw episode 11, and let's see if we get the music again.
Play us out, Vitale.
It's not working.
Please wait. We're having technical difficulties.
Everything went so well at the very end.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? Oh wait.
Maybe next episode we talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
We will talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Cream.
The greatest new name in sports.
So
Good
funny.
Lord. All right. Everybody, thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Take care,
care,
guys.
boys.
Adios, muchachos.
See you again, buddy.